Hi, I'm Melissa, your free range psychic. Today is April 24th, 2022. Today I'm going to do an update on Kevin McCarthy, who's been in the news recently. I remember a while back, and this might have even been a year or two ago, my guides told me that everything was being recorded, everything. And voila, they were correct about that. Everything has been recorded. So McCarthy is in really deep water right now. I wanted to say something else, but I didn't want to bring that language into the reading today. But he is outed for having behind the scenes spoken with Trump regarding, I believe, his culpability in the January 6th insurrection coup attempt, and also that Kevin McCarthy said to him that he should resign after the impeachment hearings. And, I think the first impeachment hearings, but I'm not sure. But I think I would assume that would be when he told or advised, I would say, President Trump to resign. Oh, my goodness. And people are wondering who leaked the tape. Liz Cheney says she did not, and she would have been one of the few people to have actually been in on that conversation in some way. And more is coming out, more and more and more and more. It's amazing. But they told me this several years ago, and yeah, there you go. Oh, before I started this reading, I wanted to discuss something really briefly, which was this card that came up regarding the oligarchs and Putin. And what I forgot to mention last week is that my guides had shown me it wasn't just the oligarchs perhaps plotting to take Putin out, but Putin also looking to see who was his enemy, who needed to be weeded out. And then this week, 2 Russian oligarchs and their families were found suicided. And I think that's what they were referring to in the Five of Wands card when they showed me that. But my guides told me that instead of strengthening what's left of his support, it's actually going to fracture it more. It's really going to do the opposite of what he intended, which was to coerce, terrify, threaten these people to be loyal to him. But it's not going to work. It's going to really speed up that conversation about, how to get rid of this person, because nobody knows, not one of them, not one of the oligarchs, or I like to call them oil oligarchs because of the oil. Oligarchs know who's going to be taken out or why. It doesn't make any sense. Nothing's making sense. So what does it help to be loyal to Putin? Because maybe they're all targeted. So that was interesting. The card that my guides gave me to represent Kevin McCarthy, the Lovers reversed. So this is a purely transactional relationship that Kevin McCarthy has with Donald Trump. Donald Trump is at the bottom. He's holding McCarthy up. And in this relationship, this isn't based on something that is really concretely tangible. This has to do with how, like Putin, Donald Trump perceives at any given time just how devoted and loyal the person is to him. And the nature of the transaction is, if you love me, if you are loyal to me, I will lift you up to achieve your ambitions to great heights. I'm the kingmaker, I'm the rainmaker, and I can do that. But if you abandon me or betray me, then you're going to go down. I'm going to destroy you. And that is the nature of his relationship, and the crux of his existence right now, and politically, with the Republican Party, because this all has to do with how he serves their leader, Donald Trump. What does he want? What is he reaching for? King of Wands. He wants Nancy Pelosi's job. He wants to be the House Speaker. That's his ambition. He craves it. He wants to be this person. And of course, this is the card of the narcissist. So there obviously, even though he didn't want to see the insurrection happen, or at least I'm not saying he wouldn't have served had the coup been successful. It probably would have, but he wanted some normalcy. But at the same time, he wants power. He has great ambition. He wants a seat at the table, and he wants his own throne. And that's what the nature of the transaction is. So in the recent past is the Tower. This card represents the coup attempt, January 6th, and what led up to it, and McCarthy's awareness of and his being complicit in it by nature of just having to surreptitiously try to stop President Trump, but at the same time, outwardly, he's going to support it, so he's complicit in it. Not the desire for the achievement of it. Obviously, he wanted things to not get to this point, but at the same time, his hands are bloodied with it anyway, because he couldn't come out to the public or warn the FBI or whatever. He's too weak for that. So he's experiencing the fallout just like everybody else, if that makes sense. Underneath is the Nine of Swords. So he's terrified. The Nine of Swords, this is a person who's up at night with anxiety and can't sleep for thinking of the terrible things that might happen. And what's going to happen? What are the charges going to be? What's he going to say? What's he going to do when he's in court or in front of the January 6th committee and probably the DOJ at some point? In the near future is the Ten of Wands. So this is what comes of it. This is the ending of McCarthy's career. This is devastation for him. This is major loss. So whether or not he remains in Congress, he's not going to see, and we've all known this for a long time anyway, the realization of his dream, which is to be the Speaker of the House. Not going to happen for him. The overarching card is the Hanged Man. Damned if you do, damned if you don't. This is McCarthy, and he can't move. He's caught. And this is the nature of the GOP. I think it was getting that way before Trump, but especially with Trump, you cannot move. You cannot exercise free will in that party. Once you're in it, you're compromised. And so like a mafia, you have to, or a gang, you have to show that you're willing to be corrupted and cross the lines that you set for yourself, whatever they are. And you have to be totally loyal. You can't escape. And I think this is a thing that I don't know if people have understood as much as we need to, how coerced. And I'm not telling you to feel sorry for these people, but I'm just saying, if any of these people like McCarthy or the ones, even Mitch McConnell, the ones where they're not quite, Marjorie Taylor Greene, they've been part of a conventional system, whatever you think of the GOP, they want to present some kind of face of legality there, following the law. But even they can't escape the coercion that they will experience if they move away. Now, McConnell and McCarthy too initially tried to present or try to attempt to deal with things as we were all experiencing them and admonishing Trump, etc., right at the beginning, right? And then they turned around, and even McConnell, you would think would have the strength to resist, had to say, yes, of course I would support Trump, even though I know he's all of these things. I'm still loyal to him because he has that kind of control. And this includes death threats. This includes threats to their families. This includes all kinds of intimidations, even probably to their pets, to their money, obviously to their careers, to the people around them who they love. It becomes very dangerous to go against this mafia type organization that we like to call Trump, the Trump organization. So you have to be strong and you have to battle your fears once you're in this morass. And again, I'm not saying this to justify or to feel sorry for McCarthy and other people like that. Obviously, there are people who've resisted and have been victorious. Omarosa just got a huge settlement. She didn't back down. So maybe a lot of those threats, those coercions are nothing but that. But if you think about Eric Prince and Roger Stone and Steve Miller, Jared Kushner, are they not capable of doing some really dirty, heinous stuff behind the scenes, even allegedly life-threatening? Given how Kushner allegedly facilitated Khashoggi's death, and that stuff's coming out now. There's a new book that's been written about Kushner. So when you're Kevin McCarthy and you're driven by ambition and you're also not a strong person and you're driven by your own fears and your own ego, this is what happens to you. You get caught. In the outcome card, justice. This is Kevin McCarthy in front of the January 6th committee. This is the DOJ. This is everything coming to light and him having to answer for his role. That is my reading on Kevin McCarthy. There's a lot coming up this week. There's more tapes coming out. There's so much. As I think I've said before, criminality that has gone on. We've been awash with it, with the Trump administration. But thank God we have Biden in. I thank God every day for Biden. So our oracle card is again from the Diana Cooper Angels of Light deck. Yes, I just double checked to see that was the correct name. Yes, Angels of Light. The card that we got is light. Light illuminates darkness and gloom. It brings in hope and inspiration. And the angels want you to ask them to fill you with more light, for it contains spiritual information and knowledge. These are keys to the universe and bring love and peace, as well as unlocking the wisdom within you. As your light becomes stronger and clearer, you will find clarity and purpose. You will radiate brightly and become a beacon, reminding others of the divine help available. Angel wisdom suggests that you ask the angels to ignite and strengthen the divine flame within you. The affirmation, I am light. Okay, everybody, I hope you enjoyed this reading. I will be back next week. I am available for personal readings. My information is below in the description box. And at the end of the musical interlude that is coming up, please stick around for that. I just, or I should say, I don't just read on past lives. I read on anything in the present or coming up in the future, or anything that's happened in your past in this lifetime. I'm a medium, and I love to introduce you to your guardian angels. So if you want to book a reading with me, you can text me, you can email me. Facebook, not many people use Facebook as a messenger, but it's getting kind of tricky since Meta took over, because it's a little obtuse in how I can find your messages. So it might be better just email or text, or you can call me. Texting is quickest, and the email's pretty quick too, because I try to respond within a day or so of you sending me your request. Okay, you guys, I love you. You take care, and I will be back. Bye-bye.